Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor.
Oh boy, here we go again. Cody got a weird case. Why is he around? Well, allegedly. Alright, so everyone I think watching this video right now knows who Cody is. He's one of the OG commentary reaction YouTubers on the platform, and he blew up many years ago for making videos about morgues, NNA Productions, Jake Paul and all of them. He now sits at over 6 million subscribers and for the most part has had a really clean record. He's never really been in any crazy controversy, and as well as that is a very well respected YouTuber since the start of his career. However, just today, a massive YouTuber called D'Angelo Wallace, who has over 1.5 million subscribers, might have just ruined his entire career. So D'Angelo Wallace made a video called An Uncomfortable Conversation about Cody, and the allegations in this video against Cody are pretty insane if I'm being honest with you. Not something I'd ever want my name associated with. So anyway, without wasting any more time, let's see what happened with Cody, because this goes so deep.
Alright Cody, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online, Tana Mojo.
Bro, Tana Mojo? No goddamn way. I'll let this guy explain everything, but first of all, that's wild coming from Tana.
And you know that people are ignoring this because nobody is working harder to bury this story than you. And you're getting away with it because commentary YouTube has a serious problem. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers for not hearing about this because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it recently. The situation has been talked about by smaller channels, it's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone article or this H3 podcast discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
Yeah, so one thing before we get into the actual allegations, it's unreal that this hasn't been brought up yet. This is a situation that first of all happened years ago and absolutely nobody huge has talked about it. And so I honestly had no idea that it was a thing, first of all. I found out about this literally 6 hours ago from this guy's video.
We both know that Tana Mojo is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior that's become so entangled with her brand that her podcast is called Cancelled with Tana Mojo. And speaking of this podcast, about a month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my god, no one look at me, Cody. I can say that. I was literally 17, I can say that.
This clip started making the rounds and people were understandably perturbed because if Tana Mojo was 17, you would have been 25.
No, Cody, not like this. I've never really been a big time watcher of Cody, so if this was true, I really wouldn't care as much as some loyal fans, but bro, 25? God, are you kidding me, bro? Seriously, how hard is it for YouTubers? Like seriously, YouTubers watching this right now, how hard is it to not talk to people under the age of 18? Look, I know what some of you are gonna sit here and say. Glider Guy, you do realize that the age of consent in some states in America is 16, so it makes it okay? Look, bro, I do understand that, right? And it does make sense. Legally, if Cody did do this in a state where the age of consent is 16, then sure, he hasn't committed a crime, if all of this is true. Which, by the way, these are still allegations, by the way. I just want that to be made perfectly clear. I'm not accusing him of doing anything. I'm literally just laying out the facts. No one apart from the people involved in this know for sure that this actually happened. But even still, if this technically isn't a crime, that doesn't make it right. A 17-year-old is still a 17-year-old, no matter what legal jargon you try and cover it with, no matter what way you spin it. A 25-year-old getting with a 17-year-old is still looked down upon because it's not normal. It's weird as hell. And if Cody did do this, I don't care if it's legal, it's still weird.
I hooked up with Cody when I was 17 and he was 25.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hanna at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him like, yo, she's 17, and then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear, 17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where Playlist Live used to take place. So this means that Tana Mojo is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
Okay, so legally that changes everything, right? If this is real and that actually happened in Florida, then yeah, the age of consent in Florida is 18, and Cody could be pretty pretty cooked here. Now, I'm not gonna get into the politics of all of this because, you know, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to lay out what's been alleged and what's happened with Cody Co. But one thing I do gotta say is that it's weird as hell that in one state the age of consent is 18, then if you cross the border and travel a single kilometer over it, then the age of consent suddenly drops 2 years. I don't understand why that is, to be honest. Whatever the age of consent should be, that's what it should be final for the whole country. I don't get why it's split up between borders. It seriously doesn't make sense to me. Having 12 different ages and things being so complicated only makes situations like this happen more often and make it worse. However, let's put the legal part of this to the side for a second, because I don't think us as YouTubers are really worried about whether it's legal or not. I don't really care who you are and what you stand for. Being 25 and knowingly getting with someone who is 17 years old is weird no matter what. I mean, bro, you have an age gap of 8 years. That's unreal when you're only 25. So morally, even if this somehow becomes legal, is still weird as hell.
But what lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is really the most damning thing for you, Cody, is a clip that you might not have even seen yet. See, I read the Rolling Stone article, I watched the YouTube videos about this, and they all missed something. And I understand why. The clip I'm about to show you is extremely hard to find. The original has been lost to time, and it's a wonder we have this on video at all. But if there was anything to give me any more clarity about these allegations before I formed my opinion, I was going to find it. Remember how Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hanna tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage, watch it. And he's like, oh my god, thank you for telling me. And then he heard that.
Okay, yeah, again, I'm not jumping to conclusions, and neither should you, Miss Karen on Twitter, watching this video about to comment about how bad Cody Co is. Let's wait, bro. I understand that this is pretty damning. Gabby Hanna talking about the exact same situation a few years earlier, and the stories do match up, so it does make sense. But seriously, bro, let's just wait until both sides of the story are heard. Let's wait to see what Cody has to say, if he has to say anything at all. It's not like the I'm Alex situation where we have foolproof, clear-cut video evidence and whatnot. There's really nothing here. It's just two big internet personalities, Gabby Hanna and Tana Mojo, saying stuff on a podcast. There's really no proving who's innocent or who's guilty until we have more information. In saying that, however, that Gabby Hanna clip, again, is pretty crazy considering it was made several years ago, and the stories do line up. So apparently these allegations have actually been brewing for quite a while now, but no one really in the mainstream has picked it up until today. No one at the time of me recording this video right now in the commentary space, like Huge, like Charlie, has covered something like this, so it's not really a big story at the moment. However, I feel like that's about to change really rapidly due to this D'Angelo Wallace video. I feel like everyone's gonna start making videos about this like right now, and you can guarantee I'll be right here to cover it whenever Cody Co responds to this.
I have seen so many comments, but what was she wearing? It's Tana, so who cares? Well, it's Tana Mojo.
The reaction to this has been unsurprising but incredibly disappointing, demanding proof that they know she can't provide, acting like she's only doing this to gain clout or ruin you somehow, despite the fact that she's never once put your name in a video title over this.
Okay, well, realistically, I mean, like, what do you expect, bro? It's YouTube fans in a comment section who, of course, are gonna defend Cody Co with their life no matter what. Of course, they're gonna sit there and act like he's completely fine with no proof. I mean, I don't know what you expected with that. That's not really Cody Co's fault. However, I think there is a valid point that Gabby Hanna and Tana Mojo aren't exactly the most trustworthy people when it comes to this. I mean, Tana Mojo literally faked an entire wedding with Jake Paul and lied on numerous occasions. And Gabby Hanna, from what I've heard, really isn't much better either. I don't know too much about her, but from what I've heard, she isn't that great either. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit here dismissing your allegations because you're not great people, and you know, I'm not gonna throw them out the window, but of course I'm gonna take your track record into account when you throw out allegations like this.
The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and disbelieved before anybody ever gave her a chance. because it's Tana, which sets a horrible precedent that if a person runs out of goodwill, they lose the right to come forward with their experiences.
Now that is a pretty decent point. No matter who you are, you should be able to come forward with your experiences as long as they're actually true. However, what I think has ruined that is that people come onto Twitter with, hashtag me too and just lie out of their ass for just attention on Twitter. They'll sit there and lie about some guy just to get attention. I think that's what's ruined women being able to come forward positively with all this sort of stuff. That's what's ruined the ability for women to be able to come forward with their experiences, is the few bad eggs that just straight up lie about people.
Now, some seem to think that you're not obligated to speak up, and maybe that's what people around you are telling you as well. But from one creator to another, you absolutely have an obligation to, at the very least, call out the misogyny, the victim blaming, and all manner of cognitive dissonance that's coming from your audience in the name of defending you against allegations that you're too cowardly to address.
Okay, realistically, let's say that Cody Co didn't actually do anything. If this story isn't big enough, why the hell would he address it? Cody isn't responsible for what his audience does unless he goes out of his way to tell his audience to do something. If Cody hasn't explicitly said to his audience to go tell Tana that she's stupid and, that's not a big deal, then I don't think that he has to address it. However, now I think things are a little bit different. This story is only getting bigger and bigger by the hour. I feel like at this point, this is something that you've just got to address. His comments are now filled with people wanting answers, and if he just uploads a regular video at this point, people are gonna spam it with hate. I feel like now is probably the time that Cody has to respond.
But now your cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking, and you've tried silence, and now you're choosing censorship. On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation.
Okay, now this one I don't think is actually true. I've just checked all of Cody Co's recent comments on his YouTube channel, and all of them are related to the situation. Maybe it's because he's just been overwhelmed since this huge video came out 8 hours ago that I'm watching right now, and people are rushing to his YouTube channel with comments. But if this was actually true before today, that he was sitting there silencing people about it in his comments, then that's pretty terrible and kind of shows an admission of guilt in my opinion. Allegedly though, guys, remember, allegedly.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation of your subreddit in real time as I researched this video. I would refresh the page and posts would suddenly be unapproved by moderators after racking up hundreds of comments, removed because they could, quote, instigate drama, or more commonly, just locked and or removed with no reason given whatsoever.
Now that right there is probably one of the worst bits about this whole thing. People are thinking that Cody Co is telling his moderators to censor posts in his Reddit that talk about the allegations, which to be honest, I just don't know if that's true. I don't know Cody well enough to say if that's true or not, but if it is, then that's probably pretty bad as well. But anyways, that's really all we have for now. That's all the stuff that's come out about Cody Co. So click the video on screen right now because YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all over there. Subscribe.